Hi everyone, Ryan here with Fight Game Analysis, and today we are going to be talking about the upcoming fight between Maycee Barber and Alexa Grasso. If you've been enjoying the content, please go ahead and click on the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate your support. All right, so big fight, much anticipated fight coming up here between Maycee Barber and Alexa Grasso. This is actually somewhat of a comeback fight for Maycee Barber. Now, that's typically not the type of phrase that you use for a 22-year-old, although she is experienced for her age. This is going to be her fifth fight in the UFC. But more importantly than that, it's been a 13-month layoff. She got injured in her last fight, required knee surgery, so she's coming back off of that layoff, kind of making the return. And it is much anticipated. Maycee Barber, really young, a lot of hype. Her nickname is the Future, and you can see why a lot of people really believe that she is going to be a future contender, if not a future champion in the UFC. When I look at her game, start to break it down, very easy. You can quickly tell she comes from a traditional martial arts background, particularly karate. You can tell in the stance and the way that she uses it, kind of how she uses that front leg. She's pretty light on it. She's got a lot of dexterity in it. She can use it pretty quickly when she wants to. And she prefers to keep striking. She's got good hands. She's got good feet. They're quick, knows how to throw combinations. She's got some good power. She's big, strong for the division for sure. But there's still some things that she has to work on. They mentioned her being the future. They mentioned her being a contender in the division. She's got some work to do in that regard. Valentina Shevchenko is the champion in that division, and man, she is on a different level. But before we get ahead of ourselves, talking about title fights or anything like that, obviously Maycee Barber's got a long way to go. But she also has some negatives to her game. She stands up really straight. That's a problem. We've seen her get caught with a lot of shots because of it. She keeps her head on the center line too. She is there to be caught. So even in these fights when she's going out, she's throwing a lot of combinations. She knows how to finish. She's landing the heavier shots. Every single fight that she goes out in, she's getting caught. Every single one. That's a problem. As a young fighter, a lot of times they'll have a chin. They can come through it. They've got, a lot of energy, a lot of strength. They can make up and cover for a lot of those flaws. But as you get older, as you start to move up the ranks, that kind of stuff isn't going to cut it. Standing across from her, Alexa Grasso. I like Alexa Grasso a lot. Same thing with her. She prefers to strike. That's her background. Particularly, she's really good with her hands. I love the variety of strikes that she uses. She knows how to mix things up well, but at the same time, she sticks to the basics. Once you master the basics, the fundamentals, there's a reason that they're the fundamentals. There's a reason they're the basics and everybody learns them, and it's because they work. It's just that at the higher level, you have to really, truly master them. So for her, that's the jab and the right hand. She has a really crisp jab. She's aggressive with it, knows how to double it up when she wants to, uses it to keep distance and keep her opponent off balance, works in a really good straight right hand behind it, keeps her hands high, works on her feet well, although at times she can move in straight lines a little bit too much. I've noticed in her last fight, she worked on angles a little bit more, worked on that counter right hand a little bit more, and it landed good. And that was actually a fight that really impressed me when she was in there against Ji Yeon Kim. She was, Grasso was the smaller woman in that fight. She was at a reach disadvantage. Kim is also strong for the division, along with being big. And she got caught with some shots early, but she persevered. She ended up working her game plan. She got her shots off. She looked really good. I liked the right hand that she was landing. I liked the way she ended up controlling with the jab. She mixed in some kicks, and that worked out well. So the question is, what's it going to look like when these two step in the octagon on Saturday night? Got to be honest here. I'm going with Alexa Grasso. I think this is going to be a disappointment in the comeback fight for Maycee Barber. I think this is a bad stylistic matchup for her. Primarily, this fight is going to stay standing. Neither woman is all that interested in taking it to the ground. They're not super skilled there. So I think this fight ends up being stand-up from start to finish. Now, it's really going to be dictated by the exchanges for the most part. In those exchanges, Maycee Barber is going to land some shots. She's aggressive. She knows how to get off. Alexa Grasso is also aggressive. She likes to come forward. So it's going to create those opportunities for those exchanges. However, over the course of that fight, Alexa Grasso is going to end up getting the better of her. She's got the quicker hands. She throws combinations more often. She uses a little bit more lateral movement, so she will be able to get out. She will circle a little bit more. When she does, in between the exchanges, she's going to get off with her jab more than Maycee Barber will. Grasso's got a really good jab, and Maycee Barber is there to be hit. We saw J.J. Aldrich tear her apart with that counter left. Alexa Grasso's got better hands than J.J. Aldrich does. So she's going to be able to come in there, get off first with the jab. She's going to be able to get off counters with her rights. In the exchanges, she'll be able to land some shots of her own. Maycee Barber will get off, and she's got some heavy hands. She does all right. Not one-punch knockout power or anything, because, Grasso is there to be countered as well. All that being said, I believe this fight's going to go the distance, and I believe it will be Alexa Grasso that ends up with her hand raised. And she'll probably look pretty good doing it. Let me know what you guys think. Is Grasso going to be able to come out on top, or is this going to be the start of another winning streak for Maycee Barber?